Hello, and welcome back to SpaceChem. Today, an introduction to bonding. Of course, new training. Bonding and synchronization. Bonders. Add and remove bonds from atoms. Click and drag bonders to move them. Okay, good to know. The sync instruction in action. The blue Waldo will wait. Okay, so I did comment on sync at the end of the last episode, so I guess we're going to see a reason to use it here. The blue Waldo will wait at the sync instruction until the red Waldo reaches its sync instruction. So pretty much what I thought these would do. One waits until the other. Whichever one gets there first is just going to sit there, and then when the other one gets there, they both go off at the same time. Adjacent bonders add or remove bonds from pairs of atoms above them. All bonders in a reactor fire together. Okay, so anytime we do a bond operation, all bonders will act. Okay. And continue. Looks like we get more detailed tutorials again. It's a little bit unfortunate. This instruction specifies where Waldo starts and can be moved like any other instruction but cannot be created or deleted. Move the red start instruction into the highlighted square. Okay. So we put alpha. This will input a silver atom from the alpha input into the alpha zone. Molecules are placed on the 4x4 grid as shown in the preview. Right, so it'll go into that square when it enters. Input. Grab drop instructions can be made to only grab or only drop by right-clicking them and selecting from the menu. Doesn't really matter in this case, but it's good to know. In fact, all instructions can be modified by right-clicking them. Right, I can change the direction. Oh, I can just do the whole grid. Interesting. While start locations can be moved, this example requires the blue start instruction to be placed here. Interesting. I didn't know they were going to do that. So I can change color, I can change the direction, that's fine. Instructions can be quickly placed by holding the corresponding keyboard key and clicking on a reactor square. I think I'm just going to start placing things more quickly. You can kind of see what I'm doing. It's going to start taking me a while to think about what I'm doing, so it shouldn't be like you can't follow what I'm doing. I don't think that's going to be a concern. Instructions. Only affect the Waldo that matches their color. Switch between red and blue instructions by pressing the tab key. We've done this before. Okay, R, click. Beta, you can also switch between red and blue with the active layers controls. Yeah. These controls also allow you to lock and hide layers. Interesting. You can't hide the layer that you're working on. Okay, well, those are options. Probably won't be using, at least I won't be using locked, I don't imagine. Active and visible, hard to say. The instruction will pick up the fluorine atom that entered through the beta input with the blue Waldo. I have a feeling I'm not actually making any decisions in this, am I? They're just going to tell me how to do everything. Now that both atoms have been inputted and attached to Waldos, it is time to bond them together. Bonders can be moved, it can only create bonds when placed adjacent to other bonders. Placing these bonders adjacent to each other, they can add and remove bonds between the atoms directly over them. When a Waldo passes over a synchronize instruction, it will wait there until the other Waldo does the same. Whoops, I needed to read that. Listing a pair of synchronized instructions as shown will ensure that they begin moving from these locations at the same time. Okay, so this means that red will be one behind blue when they go over the bonders. This instruction will drop the fluorine atom on the bonder, leaving it ready to be bonded to the silver atom. This instruction will activate all bonders in the reactor, adding a bond between any atoms over adjacent borders. Very important, bond instructions do not have to be placed over a bonder to work. They will be in this case. Now that the blue Waldo has finished its work, it must return to pick up another fluorine atom. All reaction programs loop in this manner, as reactors must be able to carry on endlessly to be useful. Well, in the previous mission, I had an example of having a Waldo just sitting on an edge, triggering something over and over without it being a loop. I guess that is just a size 1 loop. After creating a bond between the two atoms, they are now part of the same molecule and will be moved by Waldos as a single unit. As the silver fluoride molecule is now finished, it must be moved to the output zone that requires it, which is the phi or phi? Phi up here as opposed to omega down here, yes. Molecules that are attached to Waldos are not affected by output instructions and must be released before they can be output. With the molecule now sitting in the output zone, this instruction will flush it out of the reactor and score it as produced. And that's just going to be a solution, so yeah, no thinking this time, unfortunately. Optimizing these initial ones are kind of annoying because the tutorial messages are just going to be popping up the whole time, but it is possible. You could do something different if you wanted to. So it's waiting until they sync, then they go off together. Bond, drop, produce. Do these require the syncs out of curiosity? 10, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. I mean, I could just move that over there and then not have the syncs and maybe change the start position so that things work out. So this could be doable very easily without sync. But that's what's going on here. Well, that was kind of disappointing. I was hoping to be able to actually do some stuff like that previous mission where it just kind of tells you to do your own thing. But no, not so much here. So yeah, standard tutorial solutions across the board. A brief history of SpaceChem next time. Looks like, oh yeah, there's a lot more variety here, so we get to make some choices again. That's nice. So I will see you then.